What's up, everybody? This is Ryan from Demon Hunter. A lot of you have been asking about the coat that I've been wearing on the There Was a Light Here tour. And so I wanted to take a second and show you the coat in closer detail. I know you probably see it in photos and stuff, but this is all hand done by myself. It's based on robes worn by Orthodox monks, the Great Schema, and it's sort of roughly based on that, but sort of my own take on it. I've always been, inspired a lot by ancient, Christian symbolism, religious symbolism in general. My knuckles have, old religious symbols on them, which is sort of the first time I saw something like that was in the movie Eastern Promises. He has similar symbols on his knuckles. And so I got these probably 20 something years ago. But I've always really loved, old relics from the old church. I collect, just sitting here, I have a bag of of rosaries. I love anything like that. I have old Bibles, all sorts of things that probably you can see in the background here. But anyway, back to the coat. So this took quite a long time, as you might imagine. It's all done with paint pen. I can't wash it because it's just acrylic paint pen, and it would probably just dissolve into nothing. As you can see, the sleeves here, which get the most use, are starting to fade pretty good, and these I've already reapplied a couple times. So there's kind of a good look at the front, and then the back. So I'll go down, the list of different things on here and kind of explain some of them. There are some, obvious typical Cross of Lorraine, like two-barb cross. These are sort of, a lot of these are just sort of made up by me, and the specifics are made up by me. Obviously, they're based in, sort of that old Orthodox Christian. There's the Alpha, like an ornate A for Alpha and Omega. There's 7, number of completion. There's ICXC Nika, which is Jesus Christ Conquers. IHS, which I have an IHC. You can kind of do either one of those. A lot of them are just sort of, short for Jesus or Christ, INRI, which, is hanging above the cross. Other variations of that, the IX, which again I have over here, Jesus Christ, sort of the initials for Jesus Christ. This is a crown of thorns of my own making. So what I did for a lot of this stuff was designed it on the computer and then projected it, tried to get this as flat as possible on the wall, and projected it and then traced it. So that's how a lot of it was done. That's why it's, things like this look real clean. And then there's some black mixed in as well. I have a lot of Bible verses in here, just kind of scrawled. All of these verses, for the most part, have to do with light. So, as you know, the album is an homage to my late mother, who passed in 2023. The sleeves here, one says light, and the other is my mother's initials, Margaret Ellen Clark. Let's see, moving on, the back, that's obviously the album symbol. We've had a fair amount of questions on the album symbol as well. Let's see if I can remember everything that kind of goes into this. This is, again, this is just something that I came up with on my own, but it's obviously based in a lot of traditional symbolism. In the background here, you see you have the ICXC hand as well, and that is what you'll see in a lot of paintings. And you might not have ever realized, but when you see like an Orthodox painting of Jesus, you know, or a saint with their hand in that position, it's not just like an arbitrary hand position. It is an I with the index finger, a C with the middle finger, an X with the ring finger and the pinky, and another C. So that is symbolic as well. So this, the 2-bar cross, obviously, there is an alpha and an omega here. There's an A and an O. This is also, the A is also meant to be a beam of light shining onto the world. The world here is a small circle. The big one is God. God over the world. Light shone onto the world through the cross. So there's a handful of different meanings throughout that. Let's see. There's a nice, just Gothic stained glass window. I'm also kind of obsessed with these types of traditional windows that you see in a lot of old churches, you know, especially throughout Europe. You'll see a lot of Gothic churches throughout Germany and Italy and stuff with those, France, with those kind of windows. Down across the bottom here, this is sort of, this text, this type is very synonymous with, again, with this Orthodox, you know, look. You'll see this on a lot of paintings and Eastern Orthodox stuff. This just says there was a light here, and then MCMLI, which is 1951, which is when my mother was born. Anno Domini. Okay. So this lower portion down here is a Benedictine cross Latin design. I did not come up with this design. It's a traditional one. It says all sorts of fun Latin stuff. Behold the cross around here. Down here it says begone Satan, and drink your own poison, I think is in there, which is kind of sweet. Let's see. And then finally we have some lettering that follows the sort of inside all the way around the collar. Again, Latin. And that basically says, Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom, which is from Luke. So there you have it. That is the full jacket. All in all, this probably took me about, maybe 30 hours to complete. Most of these required a couple of passes, 2 or 3, in order to get it to look that opaque. But yeah, labor of love, and I'll be wearing this on this next run. If you're anywhere near us when we're playing, please come out and see us. We have some new VIP swag. Actually, this design here, the Crown of Thorns, is on the new bandanas that we've got for the VIP offering. So come out and get it. We'll see you out there. It's going to be a blast.